welcome back to another episode of Cultural Cuisine. My name is Serena. I'm joined by Michelle Rivera Torres. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Happy to be here.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. Tell me, you are going to bring a little bit of Sunny Island here to Western Washington today. It's my understanding you were born and raised in Puerto Rico, correct?
Sort of. I actually was born in Oklahoma. Yeah, but I did grow up in Puerto Rico. We moved back to the island when I was 4. Mm-hmm. And right after my sister was born. And then I was there until I was 21 that I actually moved up here to Washington.
I love that. And can you tell me a little bit about what it was like growing up in Puerto Rico? What is the culture like? What are some of your more fondest memories surrounding that culture?
So it's very different to how our kids are growing up here, definitely. Mm-hmm. Being in a tropical island, close to the beach, which is completely different to what the ocean we have here in Washington. The culture, we're very friendly, and our families are very family oriented.
Is it like a everyone knows everyone sort of situation?
Right, yeah. Like growing up, I would go out on my bike and around like 3 blocks down. Nobody cared because everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Like everybody know my parents. My auntie used to live a few blocks away from us in the same neighborhood. So my cousins and I would just exchange house pretty much. We stay at each other's house all the time, and same thing with our friends. So it was very everybody. A community sense.
Yeah, it sounds like there was a really rich sense of culture and community and a lot of love.
Definitely.
That sounds like such a fantastic time. And can you tell me a little bit about some of the flavors that we're going to be tasting today that you grew up with?
So I'll say most of our flavors are savory. We do deep fry a lot of food. We eat a lot of pork. So it all, it's kind of like quick cooking. Salty but not spicy, which it's usually a misconception.
Yeah, I would have thought that it was going to be like super spicy, burn your mouth.
No, so that's a big misconception a lot of people had towards our culture. Compared to other Hispanic cultures, they eat a lot of spicy food. Yeah. Ours is very minimal. We do have a few dishes here that it has spice, but ours is more like a flavor, not salty, but flavorful, very seasoned taste.
That sounds amazing. What are we making today?
We're gonna be making empanadillas, and that is a version of empanadas that maybe other people have tried from other countries. So in some places of the island, they will call it pastelillo. Different countries would call it empanadas. We call it empanadillas in my hometown, Mayagüez, which is actually where this is from. It's not a beer. It may look like it, but it's very delicious. It's a malt beverage, and it actually goes really well with the empanadillas.
That sounds fantastic. So cheers to a sunnier island. Hopefully we'll get a little bit closer there.
Yes, salud.
Wow. Looks like we are one step closer to that sunny island. I am so excited. And you mentioned we're making empanadillas?
We're going to make empanadillas.
Empanadillas.
Correct. It's empanada, but chiquito,
just
little.
Chiquito. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So I see we have some garlic going right now. Walk me through. What are our starting steps? How are we going to start this process?
Sure. So the first thing I always like to do is just chop some garlic. That way we can put it with the stir fry. Just to give the flavors and the smell of the garlic. The garlic is already in some of my ingredients, but I like to enhance that flavor specifically.
Okay. So asking a question here. You're stuck on an island, and I mean like not necessarily Puerto Rico, but you're stuck on an island. What are some of your top flavor profiles, some seasonings that are absolutely necessary for your survival?
Right, well, we actually have them right here.
Okay.
Adobo,
Adobo,
which is a all-purpose seasoning. And this brand is super popular in our community, especially Puerto Rico and the Caribbean.
Goya?
Goya is the
Goya?
brand.
Okay.
There's of course a lot of versions of it, but this is the most popular. We got sofrito. Content in here is homemade. I just use the jar just to bring a small amount.
Okay.
And then the sazon, which is it just give color and more flavor to the food. So those are the main things you will find in most of our cooking. A lot of our dishes, meat, all type of plates, we use those.
Fantastic. And so what are we doing next? We've chopped the garlic. What are our next steps as far as the cooking process goes?
So one of my key tools when I'm dealing with garlic or I need to smash things is my pilon. It's also very
How do you say
cultural.
that?
Pilon.
Pilon?
Yeah.
With an N at the end?
Correct.
Pilon. Okay.
Pilon. So we're just gonna put the garlic in here. It does seasons well, definitely. Compared to a glass one or a ceramic one,
Yeah.
this will hold some of the flavors.
Yeah.
So you will see the marks on the colors if you're doing something with,
Wow.
with more color and such. So you can smell it. You can
Yeah,
see the
oh my
little
gosh.
juice of the garlic.
Oh, that smells so good.
Yeah, and then we're just gonna start stir frying it on the pan. So we can get those aromas going.
That sounds fantastic. Awesome. Let's take it over to the stove.
So-
Okay, so we're here at our stove and we're just going to stir fry the garlic for just a little bit.
Correct. So we're gonna just throw the garlic in there.
Okay.
And then just start cooking it. And then we're also going to add the sofrito. And then basically this is a mixture of cilantro, onions, garlic, peppers, and culantro, which is this long leaf over here. Hard to find. My parents usually send it for me frozen. But let's put, I will say, a few spoons of this.
Were you able to find or create a sense of community while you were here through your cooking?
Definitely, yeah. A lot of friends and people that I met throughout, day to day, they always will ask like, "Hey, I tried this Puerto Rican food. Do you know how to make it?" And I'm like, I don't really, but I will figure it out. So I had a lot of ideas of what I would need and how the process will make. So, a quick phone call to my mom, my dad, because he loved to cook. They will tell me what I needed, how to make it, and they even stay on the phone with me the whole time till I actually prep.
I love that. I'm still calling my mom all the time for things.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm so glad that you still get to connect with your parents. And I know you have two little ones of your own. Do they oftentimes help you cook? Do they enjoy a lot of Puerto Rican food that you cook as well?
Yes, so I have two little girls,
So cute.
4 and 11. My youngest, she just like to have fun. She bring her own cooking toys and she cook as I do. So that's her way of cooking. And then my oldest, as she got older, she doesn't enjoy it as much, but she does definitely enjoy eating it.
Well, I am going to really enjoy eating this, I can tell you that.
We will. So I just want to stir fry, get a little cook and
Like
can you
color
smell it?
all too? I can smell it, yeah.
Yep. So yeah,
Ooh,
it
yeah.
is just basically that mixture of that garlic and the sofrito paste. I'm just gonna put a lot all the rest of it now, just to get it all in there. All right, so we're ready to add the meat, and basically we just started crumbling here. I have a little bit over a pound of meat, maybe a pound and a half. So it's enough for the 10 disc or empanadillas that come in that pack. So today we're using ground beef, which is the most traditional one. We're going to add some of the adobo, which is the all-purpose seasoning. This is what I'm going to add some of that salty. And then we will add at least 2 of this. So this has culantro and achiote, which is coriander and annatto.
Okay.
So it gives a color, but it also gives some flavor. This is my holy trinity.
Yeah.
Adobo, sazon, and sofrito. So that's 2 of them.
Look at that color on that. That is absolutely gorgeous.
So the meat is almost cooked. Now we're gonna add a few spoons of olive. Yeah, I think it's already cooked. I just want to make sure that the seasoning is right. So you want to try it?
Yeah. Yeah, that is really, really great.
All
It's
right.
like, it's very juicy. And I do like that little kick of vinegar with the olives, but it does have a lot of those really fantastic spices.
Awesome. Well, now all we have to do is drain this grease because we don't want it dripping in our mouth.
Okay.
And start assembling.
Okay. Sounds good. I'm excited.
Okay, well, let's drain the meat. Make sure we don't have all that grease in our mouth. So yeah, we're just draining all this grease out of there.
All right. So we've just drained our meat here. What are we doing next, Michelle?
So we're gonna get ready to assemble. The meat will go inside of this dough, or plantillas, how we call it. It's 10 in here. I think we have enough to use all that meat. Recommendation, they do come frozen, so before using, I would suggest to put at least 2-3 hours outside of the freezer, so that way they are not hard
Like
and it's
pliable,
easy.
so you can
Correct.
form
So
them.
it's like literally like a dough,
Okay.
where you can just put all together. If you
Like a
want to
biscuit.
just think about it, it's similar to the lumpia when it's deep fried, which you have that flaky texture.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So walk us through what are we doing first? How much do we put in? How do we avoid spilling, blowouts?
After making them myself for quite a while, we had a party and we were just assembling this together, and my cousin showed me a trick to avoid all that spilling and
Okay.
making it all crazy. So first thing we'll do is just fold it in half. They come with a little film,
Okay.
which I like to keep for convenience. That way it's not all over the place, doesn't stick to our cutting board. And then first thing we're gonna do is just start using a fork.
Okay. So
And
just
closing
crimping
it
the
up.
edges.
Correct. And we're gonna do it on both sides. The top open.
So we have a beautiful little pocket.
So it is a pocket, exactly.
Okay.
And
okay.
yeah, this makes it
Look at that.
change my life.
Ingenuity. My gosh.
So yeah, there we go.
Okay.
We got the crease from both sides, and now we start refilling them. So filling up. Since we're gonna use some cheese, yeah, we don't want a thing full of cheese.
Yeah,
we just
like
want
have
to
one
just
bite
give
on
it a
the
little
side
bit
and
of
it's like-
exactly, just a little bit of cheese flavor here and there. Of course, once we fry it, it's all gonna melt in there.
Okay.
So I'll say 2 big spoons. It should be enough to fill this up.
Okay.
And then we
Wow, that is beautiful.
finish the closing it. And ta-da!
Ah, love it. It
I-
looks like a smile.
It is.
Like you're gonna like,
You're gonna smile, trust me, when you actually try
I'm
them.
already smiling because I know this is one step closer to our island adventure.
Yes. Another trick is I like to keep the film, is because I can close them back in there. And if I want to just prep them for a different occasion, where I keep them in the freezer, we just put them in here. It's easy. They don't stick together, and when you go to separate it, it's pretty convenient. So we just put them to the side.
Okay. Can I try one?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Sure.
Never before done
Hey,
one of these.
Every time I have a party or something, this is one. I do not prep them ahead of time.
You just have all your friends.
Yeah, I'll
When-
say part of that culture is that we don't show up early to one of our parties because we're gonna make you work.
That is hilarious. Okay, so fold it in half.
So-
Okay, and then start crimping.
Start crimping until like maybe a little bit over the half. Just start stuffing, and then I will put one, and then
Oh, I should have made my hole a little bigger too. So then we do some cheese.
drop some cheese there. Stuff it in.
Oh, I've made a dire mistake in having the hole not be big enough.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's going in there. That's the important.
All right, welcome to the world. Very first empanada. Thank you.
Good job.
Ah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
And we have 10 to make.
Okay.
So we're gonna fill up that plate, and then after that, we're just gonna be frying.
Okay, so yet again, we are one step closer to our tropical paradise. We have labored over our empanadas.
All done.
They are all finished. What is next? How are we cooking these bad boys?
We just gotta put them in the oil. So deep fry them. We got already oil warming up. I'll fill one of those pans halfway. Not too much, just enough for us to flip them, because that's how we're gonna cook them. Just side to side. It takes about 3 minutes.
Fantastic. Well, let's get to frying.
All right, so let's start frying our empanadillas. I will say medium heat, low to medium heat.
Oh,
see?
yeah, that's so bubbly.
It doesn't take much. They just have to be golden.
The filling is already cooked inside.
Correct. So all we have to do is cook the dough and melt the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So this is already made. See, that's pretty quick.
Here we go. Oh, that is so bubbly and beautiful.
That's what give it that flaky
Yeah.
texture. And if you see them reopening on the sides, I will check before put them in the oil, just to make sure that the grease don't go inside of the filling. Last thing you want to not do is just take a bite full of oil.
Thank you.
There we go. So yeah, I'll say about 3 minutes total. 3.5 minutes depending on the heat temperature you're using. And your preference on the golden. Some people like them more brown.
I can tell you I'm closer and closer to that island. That summer, beautiful, sunny tropical paradise. Whoa! And just like that, we are finally to our island paradise with beautiful
Empanadillas.
empanadillas. So we're joined by some of our friends here at Harborstone who are going to help us try everything out. Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Cultural Cuisine. Thank you so much, Michelle. We are going to dig into these. And is there anything that we say before we eat?
Definitely. When we see somebody eating or when you walk by when somebody's eating, we'll say buen provecho.
Should we all try that? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Buen provecho. Let's dig in.
Should have done it too. It's okay.
Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us again. I hope that we see you again very soon. Thank you.